Hi, I'm Kat and I play red. We're still going through the very big Essen pile, but I'm also trying to stay away from the obvious choices. There was a lot of big name games, but at that sort of show it's always nice to look at the smaller things. So today it's a smaller company but a big name designer. We are going to look at Applejack, designed by Uwe Rosenberg and produced by Game Builders. Let's have a look at how it plays. There are thousands of different apple varieties across the world. Luckily, here you're only dealing with 7 of them. Your player board represents your orchard where you will plant your apple trees. Grow and harvest as many of the same variety to collect for scoring during the harvest phases. Also, don't forget to look after your beehives, because without bees and honey, there are no apples. In Applejack, each player will take it in turns to play. Each turn consists of 5 stages. The first one is to select a tree tile. Look at the space the die is on, and you can choose any of the tiles that are in the 2 adjacent troughs. Alternatively, you may take a hidden tile from the supply. You cannot skip this phase and you must always take a tile. So let's have a look. I'm starting with 16 honey. I'm going to take this one. So the second phase is to pay for it and place it in your orchard. The cost of the tile is shown in the beehives. This cost has to be paid in honey. Regardless of the number of hives shown, you're just going to pay this cost once. So this has 9 on it 3 times, this has 7 once, this has 6 twice, but you're only going to pay it once. So I'm going to pay 9 honey for this tile. Alternatively, if you cannot or don't want to pay for it, you can decide to take it for free and place the pasture side up and you'll receive 2 honey. However, I did pay for it. So the next phase is to place the tile onto any empty space on your orchard board. It doesn't have to be next to another tile. You can place it wherever you want. So let's have a look at what I've got here. I think I'm going to place this slap bang in the middle of my board because it's got quite a few varieties of apples and all these 9s are open. Because if, when you place the tile, let's take one from the top actually. If when you place the tile, you connect 2 beehives, you're going to collect the amount of honey equal to the lower of the 2 values. So in this case, I'd receive not 9, I would receive 4 honey. If you make multiple connections, so if I'd had that there and then pop that one in, I would receive the reward on all sides connected. So I'd receive the 4 from there, and those are both 9, so I'd receive a 9 for there. But I didn't, I just had that. The last thing you're going to do in a turn is to move the Applejack here. So we're going to pop that, across 1 space. If you move the Applejack onto a space where there is only 1 tile left in the 2 troughs, you're going to restock the board. So you'll start with the trough following the dice and place one tile on every space. Regardless of how many tiles are there, you can have huge rows, that's all good, but you're just going to pop one on each space. If you pass over any of the apple symbols, you're going to stop and calculate a harvest scoring. Now the symbols on the board here show you which apples you'll be harvesting. If there are 2 shown, you're going to harvest each type of apple. So let's quickly move the dice there and pop some tiles down. And what's that? That's a green. So let's just, didn't see this, right? I'm good at this whole cheating thing. Let's pop these down. So I've got those 2 apples. So if the Applejack was here on the board and we moved it across here, we're going to score the brown apples and the bright green apples. So count the number of connected apples up. You might have more than one group, so watch for that. So in the case of the bright green, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 connected apples. Then you're going to minus the number shown on the dice. So in this case, 1. So for my bright green apples, I would receive 1, 2, 3 honey. For the brown apples, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 minus the 1. So I'd get 3 for that. So you're going to continue doing the same thing, moving the dice 1 space at the end of each player's turn. And you'll notice this is the 2-player board. We have circles and triangles, which essentially tell you when it's your turn. So if I'd started the game, I'd be the circle, Rob would be the triangle, and whenever we hit the circle, it would be my turn. On the boards for more players, there are more symbols, but you always know whose turn it is because of that. So let's say we've gone all the way around the board. We're going to get to this bridge. So twice during the game, you're going to hit this starting point. At this point, you're going to carry out a blossom scoring here. Count up how many blossoms you have in your orchard, and you're going to receive that much honey. You don't subtract the dice for this. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would receive, 6 honey. As you move over the bridge, you're going to increase the number on the die. So in this case, it would become a 2. You're then going to go round the board again, scoring everything as before. And as it goes over the bridge, it becomes a 3. Then you're going to go round, and when you hit the autumn leaf pile here with the 3, you're going to move on to endgame scoring. You'll also know it's the end of the game because at that point you're going to have a full orchard. So let's just, I was circle, so I'm going to pop that there, and we're just going to do a couple of rounds. Let's pop it back to 1 because we're in the first round, and have a look at what I might want. Oh my goodness. In my fake arrangement, I've managed to actually block all of my beehives in. So let's do that. I'm going to do something that may be a bit stupid, but I'm going to pay 11 for this one here. So I'm going to pay my 11 and place it on the board. Now, I can't get both of these. That's annoying, actually. Let's have a look. If I placed... No, I still can't. So if I place that there, I'm going to get 6 honey for matching up there. Then the problem here is I've got 2 orange here and 1 there, and I've got pinks there and there, so I kind of need a pink in the middle. So I'm going to go, oh quick, look, I'm back around here. I'm going to take this pink for 6, pop that in the supply, and place that like that. So I actually get the 6 back straight away, and I've now got a bigger group of pink apples. Let's carry on round for a little bit. Take that for 7. Though I can't actually get any honey back on that, which is a bit annoying. If you connect to these beehives around the edges, you'll score your honey as you would do normally. I've managed to block in my bright greens here, which is done. You're going to find that throughout the course of this game, you're just going to suddenly look and realise that you've completely locked something in and you can't carry on a group. So you then need to just try and start another group somewhere else. So I'm going to kind of very quickly fill this board up, and then we're going to move on to endgame scoring. At the end of the game, you're going to have a final harvest. Harvest each apple type as before, but this time you're going to be subtracting 3 from your totals. So we've actually got a little score pad here. So let's have a look at my browns. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'd score 4 there. The bright greens, I've got 4 there. I've got a 1 there and a 2 there, but I've got a -3, so I'd only get 1 for my bright greens. My speckly greens, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, I've got a group of 2, but that's not going to score me anything, so 7 would be 5. And the reds, believe it or not, the biggest group of red I've got is 3. So I'd get 0 for my reds. That sucks, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pinks, 4 oranges. I never do well on oranges for some reason. I get 0 for my oranges. And then the weird lumpy yellow apples, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd get 2. So you're going to put all those totals in there. Add the total up, and then you're going to multiply it by 2. You're then going to get a variety bonus dependent on the number of varieties that you scored for. So I think there were 2 I didn't score for, so I'd have a variety bonus for 5 different apples, which would be 11 points. You're then going to do one final blossom scoring, so you'd just add up the number of total blossoms on your board. They don't have to be connected, so that'd be 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 in there. And then the last thing to add on is the amount of honey you have left over. So 7, total that up, and the player with the most wins. So Applejack, as well as the basic version I just showed you, I'm going to be really destructive here, go like that. Your player boards are actually double-sided. So here you've got some apple types on the edges, as well as the beehives. I kind of feel like I should play with this to get the stupid orange apple, because the stupid orange apple is the bane of my life. The other thing you've got is some little apple tiles here. Now you can place these over the spots on the main player board so that your scoring is different. So let's have a look. We can just do this to mix up the scoring a little bit. So there we go. Oh, that one's orange anyway. So you can mix your scoring up. a bit. The other little additional rule is you can take a tile at random at the start of the game and just pop it by the side of your board. And then at any point during the game, you can actually choose to place this tile rather than one from the board or one from the top. We quite like this. It almost has a Reiner Knizia feel to it, which is strange for an Uwe Rosenberg game. But the sort of pattern building and the math element to me definitely felt a little bit Knizia. I don't know how I feel about tile laying games. We have some that we really love. We still play Alhambra a lot after all these years. Baron Park we like. But generally I wouldn't say it's the genre of game that we really enjoy. But I do like this. It's thinky enough for a little tile laying game, but it doesn't outstay its welcome. You know how long it's going to be, and it plays in the right kind of amount of time. I do like this on the board. Let's have a look at the other side of the board. Look, I'm just chucking everything everywhere today. So this is the 3-player game. So you'll see this has got triangles, circles and squares. So again, you know exactly where you are in the game. You've got your blossom scoring as you go over the bridge. It's very pretty as well. It's very whimsical. I do wish that some of these were a bit different. Like we've got the speckled green and the bright green, which are a bit of a weird choice. But I don't know how many colours apples actually come in. Bearing in mind there are thousands of breeds of apples, I'm sure there must have been 7 different colours. But yeah. That's Applejack. That's our main board. As I say, this is a 2 and 3 player. There's also a 4-player in there. Plays in about half an hour. So let's say, I think with these kind of little games, it's very important that they don't outstay their welcome. And this doesn't. It's designed by Uwe Rosenberg, produced by Game Builders, which is a new company. This is their first game. So that's quite exciting to see what else they're going to come out with. I don't know how available this is yet. It's definitely one to keep an eye out for though. Applejack. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, click like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Come and say hello on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. I Play Red. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.